Hello, my name is Melissa Gray, and I am the Pro Bono Director at Texas Advocacy Project. We are participating in the North Texas Coerced Debt Pilot and will be placing eligible clients with pro bono attorneys to help obtain relief from any coerced debt the survivor may have. I'm going to walk you through the process of referring a survivor to Texas Advocacy Project for participation in this pilot. Texas Advocacy Project started as a general legal hotline over 40 years ago. The volunteer lawyers at that time began to notice that their callers were mostly women who were asking for legal advice about family law matters, primarily domestic violence and other types of abuse. It was at that time that we became a nonprofit law firm specializing in family law matters. Today, Texas Advocacy Project provides free legal services statewide to victims of dating and domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, stalking, and human trafficking. Our services are available to anybody, regardless of age, gender, socioeconomic status, sexual identity, or immigration status. This makes us unique in the state of Texas. We also have an advocacy and outreach team dedicated to prevention efforts, community education, and partnerships with agencies across the state who provide services to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. Okay, how are you going to identify whether a survivor is a good candidate for the Coerced Debt Pilot Program? The most important thing to remember is that if your client has any civil legal needs, such as a divorce, protective order, or custody issue, you should refer him or her to Texas Advocacy Project, regardless of whether they have coerced debt. We can help survivors with all of their civil legal issues relating to their abuse. If the client has answered yes to any of the questions from your coerced debt screening tool and indicates that they want legal help to address those debts, then they are a good candidate for the pilot program. The next step is to refer them to Texas Advocacy Project for further screening and a referral to a pro bono attorney. There are two ways you can refer a client to Texas Advocacy Project. The most direct way is to submit a referral form directly to TAP. However, if your client is concerned about sending TAP private information in writing, she can always call TAP's legal line and tell the intake specialist that she is interested in participating in the coerced debt pilot. I will review both processes in the following slides. We have created a special form for advocates to refer clients to TAP for participation in the coerced debt pilot. You will email the completed referral form to casereferral@texasadvocacyproject.org, and one of TAP's intake specialists will confirm that it has been received. The form is very straightforward. However, there are some essential pieces of information that I want to draw your attention to. The full name and date of birth of both the victim and the adverse party are required. This information is essential in order for Texas Advocacy Project to perform a conflicts check. TAP has guardrails in place to ensure that we do not ever provide legal services to abusers. However, sometimes they sneak past our intake screeners and reach an attorney, which may prevent us from representing the true victim. If we find there is a conflict, we will not be able to reach out to the survivor. Our intake specialist will inform you if that is the case. We will also need to know the best phone number at which to reach the survivor. It is also helpful to tell us which days and times are best for our intake screeners to call. We want to make sure the survivor can speak freely when our staff calls, so it is best to avoid times where she may be at work or at home with her abuser. It is also important to tell us whether it is safe to leave a message. We want to avoid any situation where our call could put the survivor in danger. Please tell us what language the survivor speaks. This allows our screeners to be prepared when they reach out to the survivor. We often have only a short window in which to speak to the survivor and want the intake call to go as smoothly as possible. We also want any additional information that you think would be helpful for us to understand for the legal needs of the survivor. You can include information about the abuse history and anything the survivor has told you she needs, such as a divorce or protective order. Including this type of information helps to reduce the amount of times a survivor needs to retell their story, thereby avoiding re-traumatization. If you are not forwarding the coerced debt screening tool, this would also be a good place to put in any information you have about the coerced debt and why you have determined that the survivor is eligible for the pilot. If you are attaching the coerced debt screening tool, make sure that you have the survivor's permission and check the box at the bottom of the form. You will then email the referral form, the screening tool, and a copy of the credit report that you have pulled to casereferral@texasadvocacyproject.org. Please copy me on the email so that I can monitor the case as it moves through our system and know when it is time to assign a pro bono attorney to the client. So, to recap option 1 for referring a client to the Texas Advocacy Project, you first determine the survivor's eligibility for the pilot program by working through the screening tool with her. Next, you confirm that she wants to be referred to TAP and ultimately to a pro bono attorney who can help address the coerced debt issues. At that point, you complete the specialized referral form and email it along with the screening tool and the survivor's credit report to casereferral@texasadvocacyproject.org. You will also need to be sure to complete a release of information in order to communicate with TAP on behalf of the survivor. The other way you can refer a survivor to Texas Advocacy Project is by asking her to contact TAP directly, either by phone at 1-800-374-HOPE or 4673, or by completing an online application. You can find the application on our website, www.texasadvocacyproject.org. A survivor may have personal reasons for wanting to reach out to TAP directly, or she may be concerned about privacy and not want her information in writing sent via email. This is completely fine. It is important to tell the survivor that this option may take a bit longer because it is not coming in directly from one of our partners in this pilot program. However, she will definitely be contacted by one of TAP's intake specialists, and when she is, she should indicate that she would like to participate in the coerced debt pilot program. Finally, I want to assure you that the confidentiality and privacy of survivors is a priority at Texas Advocacy Project. As attorneys and legal professionals working alongside the attorneys, we have a duty to protect a client's information through attorney-client privilege. We will not release any information to the pro bono attorney or anyone else without our client's consent. Thank you so much for participating in this coerced debt pilot and for all the work you do on behalf of survivors. If you have any questions at all about TAP's role in this pilot or our services generally, please feel free to reach out to me.